welcome to Burgers and Bourbon. Going to be soon to be something else. We're trying to figure that out. I am Brian. That is Chris, same as last time, and that is Eric, same as last time. So anyway, this week, obviously you can see we're doing Makers 46. But before we get started on that, just one quick announcement. Anybody that has watched this for some time knows that we have sort of stopped doing burgers, and now we're more focused on bourbon. Simply because we had more views on bourbon than we did burgers. And so now we're looking to change the name of the show. So if you have a clever idea for our podcast that will be going forward, will be nothing but bourbon, please drop us a comment in the comment section to say, hey, this is my clever idea for the name of the show. We'd love to change the name, and we're looking for a little help because we're not that creative, to be honest. Well, that's the truth.
Given the business that we're in.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, today's Makers 46. Now, one quick note about Makers. And Miss Producer, are we up on the tight? Okay. If you ever look at Makers emblem up here, it's usually a little round thing, but when you look at the real, you can see this, I don't know if you can see, there's like a little break in it.
Yeah.
See that? If you look at the real Makers emblem, there is actually a break in the full circle of their emblem, and that is the Prohibition. It marks Prohibition. That there was a disruption in the processing of bourbon, and so they put a break in their logo or whatever. So, but that represents Prohibition. So anyway,
very cool.
That's some worthless knowledge for you on a Friday afternoon, and that came straight from the family that owns Maker's Mark. Yeah. So, but anyway, they taught us that. So, what about Makers 46?
Well, 46, and we were just talking about this before the show.
Yep.
And the name pops out of my head, one of the master distillers in the past experimented around with trying to get that perfect combination, and they were putting staves, or they ended up on this one, they put it in staves from French oak, which, if you know anything about bourbon, you know that the barrel's got to be made out of American white oak. But they put some French oak staves inside of it to pick up that flavor. And when I first heard that, I thought that's kind of weird. And then I thought, wait a minute, France is the best wine in the world in theory, so there's got to be something about the soil that grows in that's going to bring some good flavor to it. So that's where the 46 comes from. We theorize that this is the 46th version that they tried before they got it where they wanted it.
Yeah, and somebody's going to jump back and say, hey, this is it is something very similar. I heard the story because we used to do some stuff with the former owners, or then still former owners, or still members, whatever you want to call it, of the Maker's Mark family. And they told us the story, and I can't remember, but it is something very similar to what you're talking about. And that may be it, and I'm just losing the details of it. But anyway, if you actually know exactly what it is, let us know. And if it's anything different than what he said. But I think it's along those same lines.
We were obviously too lazy to Google search.
Yeah.
We had about 5 minutes.
That would require effort.
Well, we had about 5 minutes before we did it, and we just didn't go through and say, hey, this is what we should be doing. But anyway, in all reality, we don't really care about the backstory, right? Because
right.
The only thing you really tune in for, one, is to get an idea of what kind of bourbon you might want to try for the weekend. At least that's what I get a lot of feedback for is, hey, I just looking for something different. You guys try it, and I go out and get it and try it. But they like to hear our reviews, which is really all we're doing is tasting it or smelling it, tasting it, and saying, hey, this is kind of how we see it.
And I don't think you've even said it yet. This is Cask Strength.
Yeah, this is not the regular 46.
Yeah.
So we've all had, at least you and I have had.
I have not had the 46 at all.
Okay.
No.
I've had it. Yeah.
So Brian and I have had. I like 46.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I've not had Cask Strength though. So this is my first time with that.
So just a reminder, if you don't know what Cask Strength is, normally when you take the bourbon out of the barrel, you water it down a little bit to get the proof right. They're not doing that. This is exactly the way that it comes out of the barrel. So they tend to be a little bit stronger. And Miss Producer looked it up beforehand because she does know how to use Google.
Yep.
And apparently it ranges normally from 108 to 114. This one's 110 proof, so it's hot, but it's not smoking. Is that fair?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, and if you smell it, it smells hot. I mean, sometimes you smell this stuff and you're like,
yes, it
okay,
does.
That's not bad. And,
yeah.
But boy, this is
smells like it's got some kick.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little tough. Now I will tell
It smells
you,
pretty sweet too, though.
It does. It's got a lot of sweet in it.
Yeah, and when he says I like it, or I've had it and I like it, or did you say I like it? I can't remember.
I have not had this at all.
Okay,
No.
I think you said I liked it.
Oh, I said we liked it.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
I like regular 46.
Yeah. So I will tell you that I am not a big Makers fan. Just regular Maker's Mark. When this came out, which came out maybe 15 years ago,
Yeah, something like that.
something like
Been
that,
that long?
something like that.
We're old.
Anyway, I tried. I'm like, hey, it's a new version of it.
Yeah.
Let's try it. So I do like it better than I do Maker's, but since then, there's all kinds of boutique bourbons that have come out that I like a lot better than I do this. But when it first came
Okay.
out, I was like, okay, I like it better than I do Maker's. So if I'm gonna go in and that's my only choice, I'm gonna do the 46 over Maker's.
Okay.
So anyway, you guys try it. See what you think. Yeah, Miss Producer would be doing her shimmy shake over there a lot on this one because this is.
Well, the burn is all on the back, though. I didn't think it was bad
Now,
at
wait a minute.
first, and it
When,
hit me.
when he gets a little weird look, it's pretty solid.
I felt that one come out the
Oh
nose.
boy.
I didn't feel it that bad.
No, it was
There's
all
a-
on the
there's
back
a-
end. It was up
yeah.
front. There was nothing. I mean, it tastes great.
Wow.
Yeah,
but
it was
the
all on the back
burn
end.
was all on the back.
But
I was doing my
like
little. You couldn't see it, but it felt like I was doing my Puff the Magic
Now-
Dragon imitation there for a second.
Yeah, this one to me is very sweet.
It is. Yeah,
It
this
is
a little
very
sweet.
very sweet. So I don't particularly like a really sweet bourbon. I don't really like it super spicy either. But this is like, boy, this is sweet. And
If I remember correctly, and by all means, put your comments in there if I'm wrong. I think Maker's Mark is a high wheat,
It is.
which would explain a little bit of that sweetness.
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
So this one, this one is one of those that, to me, like right now, I've had a couple sips of it, and it's like sticking on my tongue. You guys ever had those where
Yeah,
it just kind
yeah.
of the flavoring
I'm feeling it
stays
on
there?
my
Still
gums
there.
a little bit.
Yeah, it's like wow.
See, I'm liking it, but it tasted hotter than what I was
Yeah.
looking for. I did not think it would be that hot.
Now I will tell you that the 46 regular is nowhere near like this. I
Yeah.
think it's it's pretty good. But here's the thing, and anybody else want it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you
Here's-
got to try it.
Yep. So here's the interesting thing about why Makers does this different flavoring, right? So they have regular Makers, they have 46 regular, they have cask strength, they have barrel strength, they have all kinds of stuff. It's because everybody has a different palate. So somebody that likes a really strong flavoring,
Yeah.
this is going to be right down their alley. If you go look at some of the other ones that we've done that maybe are like 80 proof, 90 proof, that might not be enough flavoring for them.
Right.
So they may say, well, even though you guys like them, no flavoring for me. So it's all about palate, right? So you'll know if you're a viewer of this and you like a really strong bite to it, you'll know that we'll tell you this one has that kick. So that may be something that you want to pick up and try. We got others that we've done where you're like, hey, I don't know, it just doesn't have a lot of flavoring for me. So I'm just the opposite. I would tend to be a little bit more on the less bitey side than this. This is not one that I'm going to pick up and do very often. I might try it, but I think there's a whole lot of other bourbons that
I'm
going
going to be real honest. With a cube in that, I'm digging this. This
Oh,
is
you're
good.
liking it?
Yeah, this is really good.
It takes out some of that burn. And,
Okay.
It's good.
But
I like
I'm not losing much flavor for it.
No.
I may have spoke out of turn here. Hang on, I'm getting mine cooled down. a
I'm
little bit.
really digging that.
Really.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I'm very pleasantly surprised right now.
I will say this: that now having a little ice in there, the smell it's really calmed down the smell too.
Yep.
It's not
But
anywhere
you're not
near
losing
as-
the sweetness. It's still there.
That's just amazing how you just
Yeah.
put one cube of ice in there and it totally changes the
Changes
smell
things.
and everything.
Yeah. I'm going to be real honest. I would consider that $40 to $50
Oh, wow.
price point. See?
Okay.
Is that what this? What was?
Well,
this?
I was the $40 to $50 price point to me is kind of the sweet spot for bourbons. This one is well above that. It was 66.
Okay.
So the only thing that's detracting on this right now is the price point. If this was 50, this might go up into my top 5 bourbons. I really like that.
Okay. I'm gonna go
It
back.
changes it, doesn't it?
I'm gonna go back on my. I spoke too soon. I know better to do that. So, for the maker producers out there, I apologize. Not that you're ever gonna see this. Probably not.
Well, they are now.
But
I
yeah,
don't think we're quite on their level
No,
as far as bourbon
no,
aficionados.
no. But I'm gonna take that back because now it's very good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's very good. Yeah, it's very good.
I'm a
that's-
fan.
And the sweetness is still there. So like the last one we did last week, which was Riff, not the other
New
name.
Riff.
New Riff.
Yeah.
Single barrel.
Yep, single. But that one, go back and watch it last week. It was not our favorite, although you liked it, right?
I liked it.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite, but I did like it.
But that one, when I think we all agree that when we cooled it it sort of took the flavoring away from it.
It was no good.
Yeah. This, same flavoring to me, it just takes a little bit of the back end off of it. And actually, I like it better. I like it better. I could do this with it.
All of the flavor that I got the first time is still punching through it. Yeah, I'm digging this a lot.
Yeah, still very sweet.
This one's going to make a permanent spot on the bar.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, would this be something that that I might pick? I don't know. There's so many others that I like to do. However, if I was at a buddy's house and there was yay much left, this would be a bottle I'd say, hey man, if you're not doing that bottle, I'd like to pick it up because we like to decorate. Chris and I like to decorate bottles.
We got a great episode on that.
Yeah, we do. So it goes back, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks or maybe
months ago.
Yeah, several months ago.
It was like last spring.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
maybe do a new one apparently, but
yeah. But so I put natural wood golf tees in my bottle. So when I get it, I fill them, about 3/4 of the way up with natural wood tees. To me, that just represents the bottle's full, but it's kind of cool because I play golf. So I started doing that years ago. And Chris uses this oil that you put in lamp, so you can never remember what the name of it is. And so, but he decorates.
Oil.
He decorates them really cool. His bottles are a lot more visually pleasing than mine, right?
It's what little creativity I have is all used up.
That's very true. The little creativity, anyway. But anyway, but that's a cool bottle because it doesn't have a whole lot of labeling on it, so you can kind of see, see in the bottle. So
yeah, this one's going to get decorated, but I'm going to enjoy it thoroughly.
Yeah.
Before then, this is I am really pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, me too. I spoke way too soon when I said I didn't like it because I actually, I'll and it is Friday afternoon. We're recording this about 1:30.
I put that cube in. I have no burn now.
Yeah, the burn's gone
now. Maybe it's because
I put in too much of a cube, but because I want a little bit of that burn. You're right; it's all gone now. But the flavor is still punching through it.
This is a good one.
Yeah. Well done.
I agree. I take that back. As you guys know, if you've watched any length of time, and I like my bourbon neat. I did not like this neat. However, it's very good with ice. So hey, very good job. All right, let's rate it. I think it's going to be pretty high, but go ahead.
I'll go 8.
Okay.
I mean that's barring the super premium bourbons. And that's a pretty good score for me.
And I'm going to go 8 as well. And the reason I'm going 8 is because it's a little bit higher in price point than what I want to pay on a regular basis. Yep. If this was $10, $15 cheaper, this is a 9 all day.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 7.5, probably, just maybe a little bit lower, only because I like mine neat, as you guys know, and I didn't like it neat, but I could put a cube in there and it works out just fine. So if I was at somebody's house, they said, "Hey, I've got 46, and I got a bunch of other stuff, that I've already tried, the basic core stuff. I'm gonna do this."
Just remember, this is the cask strength, so it's going to be stronger than the regular 46.
Right. Yeah. And the regular 46, I actually is pretty decent. So anyway, all right. So that's it for another week. Just make sure that you. Did I give it? I did 7.5. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So make sure you turn in every week.
Tune in. Not turn in. Tune in.
What did I say? Turn in.
You said turn in.
Have another drink.
Yeah, you need to drink.
Oh, I will. It's Friday afternoon. I'll have another one and another. But anyway, tune in. Is that better?
Tune in. There you go.
Tune in to our show next week as we'll do another bourbon. Don't know what that is. We haven't bought them yet. But anyway, it'll be something kind of cool and something unique. And if you want to provide us a unique idea for the title of our show, we would love that because we are changing the title from Burgers and Bourbon to something else. Don't know what that ultimately is. And last but not least, we have a pretty big announcement. So I'll let either one of you guys want to do it.
Eric, you've got like the spokesman's voice. Why don't you do that one?
Well, look, before he says that, as you guys know, you've been following us up for the last several weeks. We've sort of made this announcement. He's going to explain what it is, but for those of you that don't know, we do have 2 different podcasts. We have this podcast, which is kind of fun, and then we have a more serious. It's not always that serious, but it is a more serious conversation around financial planning issues, hence the name that we have here. But we are changing. We do a podcast every week, so we changed the name of that podcast a couple weeks ago to The Money Puzzle, and we did it for a very specific reason. And that reason is something that we want to announce today, because April 2nd is a big day for us. So, Eric, why don't you explain?
Eric's taking another drink before he makes that announcement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't aware we were going to announce this, but yeah, so So if you listen to our Money Puzzle podcast, we've taken that branding basically, and we are actually going to start a TV show on Saturday, April 2nd. I believe it's 10:30 a.m.
10:30
It's going to be
ABC.
airing 10:30 a.m. on WHAS here locally in the Louisville metropolitan area, ABC affiliate, of course. So we will be talking about the same types of topics that we talk about on our Money Puzzle podcast, just expanding upon them in far more greater detail, basically in a half-hour format. So something we're very, very excited about. We've been working on for really the past couple of months. So we've been waiting, and we were hoping to have this done actually and ready to air here a couple of months ago. But now that it's finally coming to fruition, we're extremely proud of it. We're extremely excited about it. So definitely you will be hearing more about that once we start to air episodes. Once again, April 2nd, Saturday, April 2nd.
Yep. All right, that's it for another week. Make sure you tune in and watch every week. You can do that by hitting the subscribe button, and we'd appreciate it. And by the way, if you want to call us, phone number 502-2, we don't do this enough, 502-200-5210. You'll get Miss Whitney on the phone, and you can say, hey, here's a bourbon I want you guys to try, or here's my idea for a podcast name. Either one is fine. And that's it for another week. You guys have a good week.